So it occurred to me yesterday, in having one of those like strange and even somewhat difficult conversations with people about, any number of subjects where we're so different in our opinions, I was like, what about this subject, topic, bullshit makes sense anymore? I mean, and it's like you go from one extreme to the other. I do at least, and have, and trying to like reason things out with myself, with other people, trying to figure out what is the right way to think, or what makes sense here, or where am I going, or how do I come to understand this? And the truth is that underneath this desire for people to like reason with things, especially difficult things, and make sense of things, especially chaos, it's like underneath that, you got to chip away at these little layers, but underneath your desire to make sense of things is a whole bunch of fear that doesn't make any sense at all. And so this is why it's so difficult to have rational conversations. It's because the things that we're talking about as of late, deeply hit at people's fear, at their concerns about their own lives and livelihood and the livelihoods and lives of their children and their spouses and their friends and their communities, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right? But the thing is that, as I actually continue to enter conversations, about, again, the things that were so up for us in the past couple of years, like politics, race, the virus, government, money, financial security, identity. I mean, all of these things. What fascinates me is that the way that I landed on this sense of like, oh, this makes sense to me 3 years ago makes no sense today. And in fact, is in fact the way it made sense a couple of years ago absolutely does not make sense. And it doesn't even just make similar sense or doesn't quite fit the picture. It's almost completely out of the picture for several reasons. I've had a couple of years experience sort of watching life, watching my community, watching the people who used to make sense sound really, if not just mildly irrational, totally insane. I'm sure I sounded like that. I am not immune to have sounded from sounding insane over the past couple of years. And also, life experience has moved me into different places and different communities and different situations. I mean, I lived for the 7 years from 2015 to 2022, earlier this year, in Brooklyn. And now I live on Long Island in New York. And I mean, very, very different communities. And it's showing me different perspectives. And it's showing me a greater way to look at and think about all of these things. And it's showing me that, like, sometimes you can live in this bubble where you think life is this way. And the truth is it's just this way for you. And then there's all these other people over here, out there, back yonder, in between, that it's just not that way for them. And in fact, if you think that you have got it figured out and what you think and believe makes total sense, you really want to test it? Go to a place where people don't think like you. Go to a place and try to explain your perspective, your point of view, what makes sense to you to someone with a completely different outlook and other priorities and another sense of what it means to live right and be okay. And that's when you truly like test the waters. That's when you really, really solidify how important it is to be open-minded. Like it's just so important, especially like I'm strong-minded and strong-willed and strong-spirited. You're not going to tell me anything unless you actually a little bit kind of enter a conversation subscribing to this idea that you can understand me, right? Not that you're trying to make me wrong, not that you're trying to convince me of anything, but that you understand a little bit about where I'm coming from, right? So I enter conversations as an equal, trying to understand people, even the people who look, sound, and act completely different than me. It doesn't matter, because inside, I believe, we're all motivated by many of the same things, and also all rendered helpless by the same kinds of fears, right? So understand my own fear helps me understand other people's fears. If you have fears and you don't understand them, but you know that like minimally to very much they are in fact hurting you in your life, definitely message me. Definitely give me a holler or email me at nicole@nicoledevlin.com. I'm always happy to talk about how you can have a better, greater, bigger life because there's a gold mine inside you that you probably haven't mined yet. And you got to get busy, man. Get that pick out. Mine that gold because there's a really good big life out there for you. And I'm going to say it's probably likely that you're not living it. So if this makes sense, or I make sense, or I don't make sense, and you have questions, give a holler. Thanks for spending time with me today.